Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do mid-February 2023 for the sign of Aries. If this is the first time to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. And a big shout out and a huge thank you to anyone who subscribed or donated to my virtual tip jar, which can be found at the Buy Me a Coffee site. And I'll go over that again briefly at the end of the video, okay? But thank you so much for your donation. I truly, deeply appreciate it. Okay, what message does Aries need to hear for mid-February 2023? This shuffling is crazy, if I might say so. You can probably kind of see that. It's just kind of, there we go. It's a little smoother. Okay. Mid-February 2023 Aries. I hope the year has started off good for you, Aries. Hope things are going well for you. I don't remember your last reading. Don't remember what we were talking about. But if you'd like to review that, there will be a link at the end of the video to visit your playlist. Sometimes they do pick up where they left off, or if there's something serious going on. Serious in the sense that it's something that's going on for a few months. We might see some more messages. Oop, I got this on the wrong hand. I like it on this hand so that I can rest my wrist on the table with my left. There we go. Okay, I think everything's good. Let's get started. Wow, things are up in the air for you. Colorized Joker, also the Magician card, traditional tarot. Magician card, people have different interpretations of this. My interpretation of that Magician energy is the universe kind of reaching out and orchestrating things, usually in your favor. I don't think the universe intentionally wants to trip you up or prevent something that is going on, you know, delaying something. If it is delayed or if it is an obstacle is put in your path, I tend to look at it as that's the way it has to be because you need to wait for some reason, you know, the unforeseen reasons behind things. But things are definitely stirred up for you. That's what we're starting off with. The Eight of Hearts. Now with that stirred up energy, you might be in this, I don't know, it's kind of like vacation mode. Because the Eight of Hearts talks about spending time with family and friends, celebrating, going out, socializing. It's also the potential to meet somebody special. So maybe things are up in the air because you're kind of in limbo as far as relationships go. If that makes sense. Like, you definitely want to meet somebody, but it just hasn't happened yet. I could see where the Magician energy could come in handy there, right? Those serendipitous meetings, that kind of thing. Wow, you are on a new start in learning a new skill or just obtaining some kind of new knowledge. Not sure if that would have to do with relationships. I mean, I guess it could. Maybe you're coming out of a long-term relationship, you know, that's ended, and you're having to learn the whole dating scene again. I mean, depending on your age, you know, things have changed a lot over the past, 20, 30 years. And if you were in a long-term relationship or even a marriage, you know, things are probably looking a lot different than they used to, especially the way we communicate and how we meet people. Meeting people online is so different now, and in many ways much easier. Probably too easy, because you do have to be careful with people who are up to no good, right? Anyway, not to get off topic there. The King of Clubs, Six of Hearts. So the Six of Hearts tells me you are ready for that relationship. And there are options and opportunities coming our way. Now, the King of Clubs, very interesting. That is fire energy. It could be you. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, actually. Now, the King energy is not necessarily male, but it's somebody who has power and some authority. Now, you could be taking charge of your relationship destiny. Like I was saying here, things have been up in the air for you, but it seems like you're ready. And yes, going out and socializing, and that's definitely the right thing to do right now. That King of Clubs energy definitely could be you, Aries. The general energy behind the King of Clubs is also somebody who's very supportive and generous. So, very good intentions. They could also be in a position of being a mentor, a counselor, or just a solid guide for other people. That could be you in that position, or just, again, representing you, taking charge, and really going out there and seeing if you can stir up that, that relationship pool. I don't want to say determined, and like, it's not out of desperation, it's just that you're tired of waiting and you're just ready. It's that kind of thing. Something will be revealed here for you, though. The Seven of Spades, sometimes this is hidden information coming from the outside. It could be internal, like something you realize about yourself, something you realize about somebody else, or perhaps realizing what you truly want. Maybe you sat on the fence with in regards to romance, relationships for a while, and it's all becoming clear to you what kind of relationship you want to manifest into your life. Or, I don't know, maybe you're working, what I'm getting is maybe you're working on that manifestation. The visualization, the asking the universe for exactly what you want. I saw this thing the other day, which might be pertinent in this case, that might help you, or just ring true for you. I think somebody posted, it was like one of those shorts they post on YouTube, and it said, how did it say it? Stop telling the universe what you don't want, but start asking for what you do want. So instead of focusing on the things that are going wrong or the thing that is lacking, in this case, relationship, I do think there's a focus here on relationship. Start focusing on the aspects of that person that you do want to meet. I know sometimes that's hard, especially when they're not here, right? but it takes some creativity, and that could tie in with this learning to do something new. I actually see that as being a very positive message so far in this reading. What else can you tell me about Aries and their situation? We might have some issues at work. You could be looking to meet somebody at work. That just came to me. And that's not the way to go about it. This is not good work vibe. This is actually being stressed at work. This is people you're not getting along with, or working too many hours. And it's stressing you out physically, mentally, emotionally. And it's asking for stress relief. So if you're trying to use that as your outlet, it might be the wrong approach. Because you're being asked to step away from that. And all of a sudden, work popped out of a relationship reading. So that tells me that maybe there's somebody you have your eye on. But I'm actually getting more like, you're waiting for that person to come through the door, especially if you work in a huge place where there's a lot of people and you just haven't met them all, and maybe you're just, trying to see if that person exists there, because that would make it easy, right? That's not necessarily the right way to go about it, though. What else can you tell me about Aries and their situation in mid-February? Wow. Interesting. So you've wrapped up some kind of major chapter that's brought some great happiness for you and celebration. So along the same lines of looking for a relationship or looking to meet that special person, perhaps that is what will complete this for you. Like, you already have achieved some great contentment in your life. I can see that. So that also tells me, on the same vein, that you're not looking for somebody out of desperation. It's like it's going to complement your life. It's going to enrich your life in a way that, plainly can't be enriched through friendship or family or work or on your own. So I don't think you're looking for somebody because you just got to be attached to somebody. It's not a codependent search that's going on here. The Queen of Hearts. Wow. Look at all this water energy. Have you noticed that? You're a fire sign. So, you could have a lot of water in your chart. It's always possible. The Queen of Hearts. This is a nurturing figure. Now, I will tell you, it could be a water sign that you're looking at or seeking. Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. But the very significant thing about the Queen of Hearts here is it's somebody who's very nurturing. I think that is what you're seeking. You're looking for nurturing. Again, not codependent nurturing. Just that affection, that feeling of being taken care of emotionally. Not that you need to be taken care of. No, we're not doing that. It's just we do need a certain level of connection in life where we feel like we're being taken care of. At least that we're connected with somebody, whether it's family, friends, or a lover, right? Again, you could have your eye on this water sign, though, but there's so much emotion out here. I kind of see that you're looking for your queen, and that's not necessarily female. You're just looking for that nurturing. Females can be searching for that nurturing from a male, or if you're into same sex, or same gender, sorry. Same sex is not PC. It's not about sex. It's gender. You're looking for that queen because you want to feel connected, really close to someone. It could be as simple as that. Sorry. The Four of Spades. So you're experiencing some kind of stress relief in the home, in the lifestyle that you're living. Which tells me in the past there was some kind of stress that existed. Now, it could have been the ex, for sure. Honestly, this stress can come from many different sources. It could be like you were having financial issues, for example, and now you're experiencing stability and security in the home. That fours generally talk about that stability around the home. The Four of Spades, I don't know, I sometimes get the impression it's like a temporary relief. So maybe at the moment you're feeling temporarily okay and being on your own, it's just you have this desire to connect with somebody. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you're needy. I just want to emphasize that. What else can you tell me about Aries? Wow, Jack of Hearts. Yeah, you have your heart open. In some cases this can represent a younger water sign. Again, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. But I think this is you having your heart open, and with that comes that a degree of vulnerability. That's how I see the Jack of Hearts. Again, if it's a person, it's a younger person. But if it's us and we're embodying that, I equate the youth with being vulnerable in some way. And of course, in reality, when we're young, we're vulnerable because we're less experienced and perhaps we're lacking maturity. But it's not about that necessarily when you just have your heart open. And to me, it's a very positive sign that, again, you're ready for relationship, as denoted by Six of Hearts over here. And you're taking control. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Look at that. Now, this is the entrepreneurship card. Now, I don't necessarily see this as you need to switch your focus on starting a business or starting some kind of solo effort and career. But it does talk about hard work, effort, and time and energy being put into something and then reaping the rewards from that. That could be where you are financially. You have a very stable life. It's just you have this element of nurturing. How nice is that? That element of nurturing that's missing. So it says two things to me with the eight of diamonds. You are on a solo capacity at the moment, but you're also very financially sound and stable. Nine of clubs. Some kind of completion here as far as an achievement. I do think that's wrapped up with career, because that would wrap up very nicely there with what I was just talking about and being financially secure on your own. So you're not looking for somebody because you need to lean on them or you need help paying bills. It's not about that at all. Again, it's that emotional fulfillment you're looking for. Black and white Joker. So you started off with the colorized Joker that I mentioned earlier with the magician energy. This is actually the full energy. So again, the Jokers I see as things being unsettled and up in the air, and I'm certain that you can resonate with that. But the full energy, a lot of readers will say that denotes kind of a new start. I also see it as kind of the obvious interpretation. The fool doesn't know what's coming. They don't know what the future holds. They don't know what the outcome is going to be, and it's kind of like when you're headed down the road and you don't know what's around the corner. That can sound a little bit scary, like we don't know what's headed our way. It's not like that though. I see this as more of a positive, like reminding us that no matter how much we think we control our lives and our outcomes, that's not necessarily the case. It's just kind of a reality check that you don't know what the future holds. And you don't have to be in the driver's seat necessarily, especially with magician energy, right? With the universe stepping in. Now, you are worried and stressed. So this is the sense I'm getting from this reading. Being solo, not in relationship, has you stressed out. Maybe you're afraid, well, I shouldn't say afraid, but you're worried it's always going to be that way. Maybe you're getting older, and as time goes on, we think, oh, I'm too old to be involved with somebody now. We won't even go into the discussion about cohabitating with someone when you're older and you haven't lived with anybody for so long. You get stuck in your ways, and I think it becomes more difficult to blend your life with somebody. I have seen, I'm not saying this is the way it has to be, but I have seen when older people finally meet somebody special, a lot of times they elect to live apart. They don't necessarily need to live with each other. They just have overnight, visit someone, maybe every night of the week, and you trade off homes or whatever the situation. Because as we get older, and I know it's true for me, my personal space is more, I wouldn't say more precious to me, but there's something empowering about having your own space and not having to compromise. And not that we're incapable of compromising, right? Not saying that at all. I think it just becomes more important when you get older to feel like you have that alone time. I think having alone time is more important as you get older, certainly. You don't always have to be on, social media or being social, and on as in switching the switch on and staying on all the time and always having to interact. I think it just becomes less a priority. But you still want that companionship. It's not like you don't. So it becomes a tricky game, slippery. I'm talking too fast. That's part of the problem. It becomes a slippery slope. The balance between being involved with somebody and having that time to yourself that you need. So the stress around this, I don't think is the fear that you're going to lose your personal space. I think it's the fear that you're not going to find that person represented by this that would be ideal. And I don't think you just want any old person to come along. You want somebody who is truly amazing, who's truly going to complement your life, as we all do. We just don't want any old person. You know, it's not just about having the buddy to watch movies with, for example, or to have dinner with. You want somebody more significant than that. Knight of Diamonds. Again, some kind of emphasis here on achievement. And this does talk about some kind of financial gain that allows you to take some significant financial responsibility. I'm not sure how that plays into your scenario. These readings for me, if you've been with me for a while or not, I'm an intuitive reader who kind of sees the energy of the emotions around the situations. I don't see the particulars of the situation, if that makes sense. Sometimes I do get a glimpse of it, and I'm not getting that glimpse here. I'm just seeing an Aries who desires companionship, and they've achieved something as far as their abundance goes. I think that's set for you. Maybe there's been an overemphasis on achievement, and maybe that's what's stressing you out here. Maybe you feel like you've waited too long. Yeah. And not put yourself out there enough. I don't know. I'm going to ask for more cards of advice, obviously. The Three of Clubs. Yeah, there's some kind of struggle here. You know what the struggle is, though? Because we do have this emphasis here on finances and abundance, I think the struggle is finding the time. I'm speaking to Aries who are they're still in the game. They're still making money. They're still making business. They're involved in some kind of work that consumes you. So the struggle is perhaps making the time. Yeah, because here, again, just going back to what I said a few minutes ago, perhaps you've been waiting for that person to arrive in the workplace, or somebody in the workplace becomes that person and it's not happening. So you're stepping away from hoping that it happens there, but you're struggling finding the time outside of work. That would actually make sense, because perhaps you're a person who does put in a lot of hours, and you don't want to take the time away from that. Like, on some level, perhaps you enjoy it because there's that sense of achievement. So you're like, how do I balance the two? I kind of see it as a balancing issue. The Five of Spades, this is the breakup card. I think you're being asked to, how do I phrase this? Not break up with your job, but start to not be so consumed by it. The Five of Spades asks us to make a change in that direction. And so in that sense, it is kind of a breakup, In other words, not be as loyal to it, not to be as tied down to it. I mean, yeah, it still needs to occur, and you're still going to be employed, and you're still going to be making this money. But making that change apparently is important. Sometimes that Five of Spades talks about things being out of our control. So this is perhaps that situation where you can't control what happens here as far as meeting somebody special unless you make that move. Yeah. It's kind of going that way. I'm not sure. It may be something you didn't want to hear. The Queen of Clubs. Again, fire sign energy. Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Along the same lines as that King of taking control, she does have power and authority, and she is very supportive and generous to others. You could be along the lines of not being as tied down to your career or as consumed by your career. I really like the way that really resonates with me. It's like somebody who's consumed with their career. You're being asked to be more supportive and generous with others, and that could be as simple as being more generous with your time. Generosity doesn't mean handing over money necessarily, right? It's mentoring others. It's going out of your way to spend time with them or being available for them. Because again, like with the King of Clubs, hey Aries, sorry about that. I had a little battery issue, so your video got cut just for a second there. But we just talked about the Queen of Clubs, and perhaps, how did I phrase that a second ago? Supporting and being generous to others may be the key to helping you break away from this pattern of overworking or devoting more time to your work and less time to your social life so that you can meet the significant person. So I'm going to ask for at least one more card of advice here before we close out the reading, because we're almost done. Sometimes that stupid battery just craps out on me, and I've only got a couple minutes left. I need to come up with a better solution. So I appreciate your patience. One more card of advice for Aries, 8 of Clubs. This talks about a decision that's to be made, and I do feel like this decision to work less and play more is difficult for you, because we did talk about the struggle and a little bit of fight in the sense that you're fighting the urge to, let's put it this way. So you know that you have to spend more time, like I said, being social, putting yourself out there, relaxing more so that you can invite that energy into your life of companionship. Relaxed energy attracts love and companionship, not being focused on your career necessarily. So you have to have it that, in other words, to achieve this relationship, you have to cultivate that mindset of being relaxed, of enjoying yourself, of having fun, of being social, right? So I feel like the decision with this 8 of Clubs is, what are you willing to sacrifice? How are you willing to incorporate, like I just discussed, into your routine? And it is going to be a change of how you operate, because I think you've been very career focused with this achievement here. And by the way, the 9 does denote a completion, so it's not that you're done, but you've achieved your goals. So you have reached kind of the end of a goal that you set for yourself. So now it's time to devote more time to relaxing and, looking for love, more or less. The 8 of Clubs also talks about kind of being stuck on an idea. So again, that just tells me that there's still resistance on your part, and I think you know that. There's a resistance on your part to let go of your lifestyle. But honestly, it's kind of a case of you can't have your cake and eat it too. Something has to give in order to let this new energy into your life of having companionship. I hope I'm making sense there. I think I'm going to end it there. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. So on this side of the advice, and if you have been with me before, you know how this works. I sometimes get a message this way and a different message that way, and sometimes they're connected. It's all talking about the same thing, but I think we do have 2 very distinct messages. This just kind of highlights the worry you have that time is running out. And so that's the sense of urgency. It's not about you needing somebody in your life because you need somebody to take care of you. It's your desire. It's a goal. It's a goal. It's a goal you have. And on this side is kind of the struggle to make this change. To make this change, the breakup, but not breaking up for good, but making this change to allow more free time. And perhaps being in the service of others and guiding and mentoring and supporting others will help you make that transition. Because again, this is a fire sign card. I mean, this could be somebody you have your eye on. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't get specifics so much as I get an overall intuitive feel and energy about the emotions, and the emotions point in the direction of the conflict that you're having in achieving this goal. And again, I do see this as a goal. Just like achieving wealth or success in business, this is another goal of yours that I think is very important to you. So thank you for joining me for this reading. If you would like to see when the next reading comes out, make sure to hit subscribe and then notifications, or just check back in with my channel. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you would like to make a small donation, the link to that could be found in the bottom of the description box. You just copy and paste that into your browser. Ta-da! You are there. It's very simple. And I will thank you in advance if you're able to do that and feeling generous, okay? So, take care until I see you again.